Get that out of here. You know what's funny is that image, I just recently added somebody on Facebook. And that was the first image I got to see. You know what's funny is I guess they don't understand what me and Bones are about. Racism is an unneeded hate. And we're not about that. So roll that intro!
I'm a dip slut. Addy lips spittin', Sailor Jerry sippin' like fatty lips with a motherfucking lip. And this wintergreen got my fucking head spinning. Talking like Charlie Sheen, yes I'm winning. Walking up and down Beantown with the Lipski. Shout out to my main man, big homie Dipski.
Hey, what's going on, Dippers? Michigan Dipper with a brand new video. Obviously, from the intro you see, obviously this is going to be about racism. The unneeded hate. I guess I just don't get racism at all. But let's throw a dip in. We got the old Red Man Wintergreen. Picked this up the other day at the store. I thought it was, pretty cool. Came in the old can, the plastic can. I guess I've been on like an old vintage, dip can kick lately. So let's throw a little dip in. Good stuff. Mud Jug of the day. We got the old Southern Pride, since we got a little theme going on. So the picture you seen at the beginning of this video. What's funny about that is I was scrolling through somebody's Facebook the other day, because I get, tons of Facebook requests every day. And so I'm scrolling through, and that's the first thing that I see. And I'm thinking, well, I guess if they knew anything about me, they know I don't associate with racism or racist people. It's just not me. I guess I was brought up to respect others. Didn't matter what color you were. And, I just don't deal well with that. It's like today's society, it's all about hate. The news creates hate. To start off, it's like, I guess when it comes down to it, when you young folks grow up, the ones that think this whole racism thing is cool, when you have kids of your own, do you want your son or daughter to hate people because they're a little bit different or they got a different skin color? I bet you don't want that. I mean, I teach my kids, no matter who it is, no matter what color they are, to respect them. That's just the way it is. Today's society, we are just so warped, just like the, to get really right down to the nuts and bolts in this video, to me, racism is wrong. I don't get it. It's like you got the Ku Klux Klan, you got the neo-Nazis, the white supremacists, they all say, oh, well, we all just want the perfect race, that's the white race. That's a bunch of crap, okay? The white race, it's the most perfect. Look, not one of us is perfect. Doesn't matter what race we are. We are all sinners. We're all sinful. So how could we be perfect? In the media, the thing is the media blows, all this up. Look at the Ferguson case. The white cop killing the young black kid. Look. When it comes down to it, if I'm that officer and I got this 6'4", 250-pound kid coming at me, trying to get my weapon, look, I got a family to come home to. So if I'm out there doing my job and this situation happens and I'm trained to do a certain thing, I'm sorry, but the unfortunate thing is you're going to get shot. And, it's unfortunate, for that kid and his family. But, look, he chose that. He chose to go steal from a store and then get caught by the police. Okay? So, when it comes to that, you had Al Sharpton come in. You had Jesse Jackson. And all those guys did was promote hate. Like it was, oh, the white race's problem. The white people did this. Look, it was a kid that broke the law, and it was the consequence that he got. It was unfortunate that he, was killed. But if he would have not breaking the law, he would have lived. Simple fact. The people, when people know me, they I'm a pretty honest guy. I don't hate nobody. I love everybody of, different backgrounds. And it's, the thing is I probably get judged by, other groups of people, which that's okay. They see a guy dressed in camouflage, this is my everyday wear. I don't own a pair of blue jeans, but if they'd sit down and talk to me for 5 minutes, I bet you they'd be like, wow, that guy's pretty cool, and that's the thing is, if you do a certain thing or how you act, you're going to be perceived that way. And society is basically, color-coded people. And, they take different things like, hey, look at the Confederate flag. That symbol is nowadays when people see the Confederate flag, they see that as a symbol of hate. But if they go back and look in history, it's a Confederate battle flag. There was black soldiers that lifted that flag, that flew it proudly. And, it's like the Ku Klux Klan. They're all for this and all for that. They're supposed to be good, religious people. And yet, they ain't religious. They're hating everything. It's like, if that flag's racist, then the one right next to it should be racist as well. Because if you ever notice, the Ku Klux Klan always fly that flag and the American flag. So, how can one be racist if the other is not? I guess I don't get that part. It's also like interracial relationships. People frown upon that. Why? Why is that? Because at one time, the blacks only associated with blacks and the whites and so on and so forth? Come on now. Just like in the Bible, okay? There's different races, and they were all intermingled. There's nothing wrong with that. So why do we got to do it nowadays? I guess I don't get that. It's like, I got me a wonderful Mexican gal. She's the most wonderful woman I've ever met. But when it comes down to it, do I love her because of her race? No. I love her because of her. So when it comes down to it, guys, snap out of it. The whole racism thing, grow up. If you can go to bed at night hating a certain person because of their color or what they do or what they wear, and you can sleep soundly, man, you got something wrong with you. I don't go well. I don't deal well with that. It's like I seen somebody on Facebook the other day. Oh, I hate the Mexicans. They're a poor, excuse for a race, blah, 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 blah. So I wrote that kid, and I says, you know what? I says, that's funny. I says, I got me a good woman. She's Mexican. And I says, I don't like your tone. I says, I can already see you're going to unfriend me, which that's okay. But you know what? I still love you. Love your enemies. That's when it really comes down to it. It's like, there's probably people that hate me. That's okay. I still love you. And I mean that. I'm genuine when I say that. Oh, man, got to get some of that blue drink. Hold on. So, for the younger girls and guys out there, get off the hate. It's not worth it. I mean, it's childish, and media is a big part of that, like I already said. But it's funny, I'm sitting there the other night, I'm reading in the book of John, and Jesus, he's going back to Galilee, and he comes up on a well, a woman's at the well, and he asks her for a drink. And she says, I can't associate with you. My people don't associate with Jews. And he says, you know, he says, if you knew who I was, you would get me a drink. And she says, no, I'm sorry, I just can't. And what's funny is he proceeds to tell her that all her stuff, all the stuff that she's done, you know, all the men she's been with and whatnot. And she's like, well, how would you know that? And he's trying to tell her. And he says to her, the last thing he said to her, he says, I who speak to you am he. Because she was waiting on the Messiah. She was waiting on Christ. So once she heard what he said, she went back to the town, told all the people, and they all gathered where Jesus was. You know, to me, if that ain't judging somebody just for who you are, I don't know. But you know what? When it comes down to it, if you're going to be, you know, hating people, it's just hard for me to wrap my brain around. I'm sorry, guys. But with the message that I can give to you is love God, love your neighbor. Don't color code anybody. If you see somebody that's a little bit different, you know what? Take the time out and get to know that person. You know? Like I said, I may be judged too because, you know, I got a long beard and I got camouflage on. You know? There's other people, you know, they dress a little bit differently than I do. But I don't judge them for it. I love them. I love each and every one of you guys. I love yous. Because I'm not going to hate. It's just not worth it. I can sleep better at night knowing that I don't hate anybody. So I hope you got a little peace of mind out of this video. So if I don't see you around, I'll see you around. Here